guy Kai, or if you're of another culture, Kai. I don't know.
Kai? Who the
It's
Kai?
two eyes.
Who the is Kai? Started just like that. Super bright, super light. I'm here with it. Your boy Fly Guy Kai, aka the Captain, aka the main character. And this is episode 32 of the Main Character Podcast. Yes, my mustache has grown very nicely. It does that. It does that French shit too. So when I get into my evil villain phase, I can just get the Wario and Waluigi going. Is it super bright? Yes, because I I have one of them lights that go up on your camera to kind of like try to get a little better lighting, shows you a little bit more. It just keeps showing how light skinned I really am. Okay, so good thing, bad thing, we don't know. But it's always been there. Try to use the tools that I got. This time I just got my little webcam. I feel like being on here, just being in the zone, up on a computer. We make it happen. Some old topics, some new topics. And I gotta put another one up there about Nintendo because Nintendo is tripping. I'll get to that later. And of course, I always push it on my little whiteboard. Okay. Cause Nintendo, you got some explaining to do, and I'm trying to figure out why. But don't worry, we'll get into that. Let's start off with the. I'm tired of using too. We'll start off with the three health things, okay? We got spiritual, we got physical, and we got mental. Spiritual 100% is never faltering. There's God, there's Yahshua. Case in point. Building blocks of faith, my faith, the backbone of my faith, who I pray to every morning. Oh well, I'm gonna say morning, but when I get up before every first meal, 99.9% of the times when I don't become a super fat bastard and just like snack a little before, like, oh wait, always give it up to God and to Yahshua. So solid there. Physical's cool. I had to take a break from all this. I had to take a break from the gym for like a week, but it was more so like 9 days, and then seldomly going back to how I want to, because I had like pressure building up in my head. Which the slightest thing, you know what, the slightest thing you're not supposed to do, run to Google. It'll give you a whole list of reasons why you're dying in that very moment. What did I do? 30, 34. I know about this. I understand this. I still go to do it just to be like, yo, I don't want to go to the doctors for BS. Let me just go ahead and research a little bit. Hey, tumors. Hey, seizures. Hey, slowly dying. Brain cancer. Turned out to be like some sort of like sinus pressure buildup, sinus infection. My girl, shouts out to her, helped me out, got me some, helped me to see that antibiotics should work. So I went to go get some antibiotics, and took that for like 7 days. Let it run its course. Now I feel better, sleep better. Thank you. Okay. Um, let's go to the mental aspect. Okay, mental. The thing about mental health, you try to have more good days than you're gonna have bad days. You'll set yourself up for failure if you think you're never gonna have a bad day. Doesn't matter what situation you're in. Doesn't matter how high up you think you are, how much money you have, how much family you have around you. You're gonna have bad days. Okay, so that's number one. Never set yourself up for failure thinking you're gonna have straight good days. There are gonna be bad days. What happens in those bad days, how you handle those bad days, that's where the moment really shines. Like you gotta understand that you gotta weather that storm and pull yourself out of it before it gets too Like you get dragged down too much. Okay. I can talk about this feeling and depression and stuff like that in such detail because when it does hit me, it hits me like a Mike Tyson fist in his prime. Just whack. Okay. It hits me, it hurts, it sucks. I don't want to move. I just want to stay in one spot. Maybe watch anime, maybe just be in silence. I don't know. But I still push through it. Try not to push it down as much. I will mention every now and again, like, oh, how are you feeling? I'm just not feeling up to it. Feeling depressed. Um, I just try not to let it, again, not try to, because I've been there several times where you get dragged down too much by, my thing is depression. You can get dragged down by anger, hatred, jealousy, like this pool of the dark emotion. Like you can get dragged down in there, and then the further you get down there, the further you take to expressing that feeling in the wrong way. So I've been there several times, and I want to stay away from that as much as possible. When I do get down to that point, to just try to elevate myself as much as possible to weather that storm again till I get to the good days. So will I say I have perfect days, or no, I'll never say that because I know for a fact that that's just not it. But what I will say is that I handle it very nicely, okay? The health three, the big health three is always there. A little somber. I want to dedicate this part. I want to dedicate, well, podcast title too. Um, but I want to dedicate this part to my grandmother, or my father's mother, Grace Jones, who passed away a couple days ago. Saying a couple, it's like I want to say like 5 days ago, maybe. Yeah, passed away. It is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everyone. But it's one of those things, like it sucks around this time because my dad lost his mom, and now it's Mother's Day. So I earlier on I called my mom, I called my sister. I gotta call my grandmother. She'd be getting on me. But I also called him too, just to check up on him, make sure everything is good. He seems okay, stuff like that. And like me and my dad are like, we're not like two peas in a pod, but we're not super, like, I don't hate him or nothing like that. It's just you didn't really grow up around. I didn't really grow up around him like that, so we don't have that close of a bond. But I I I love him. I love him. I love my mom. And where me and my father, we have an understanding in how our relationship is, and we're not like on the phone every day or even every month. But when we do make contact, nothing but love, nothing but love. But yeah, I had sent him a text message when he told me, and then like I had called him earlier just to check up on him, just let him know like, yo, like I don't I don't know how this feels. I know how it feels to lose, like, my great grandmother, Grandma Net. I know how it felt to lose her, which that was really sad. Because again, that's just like, I knew her, but it was someone I really didn't grow up around because she was in New York most of the time. Like a lot of my family, and my mom was in New Jersey, so we weren't around my family like that. But it's this same type of thing where mom and dad wasn't together, so I was with my mom. She had me. Went around my dad like that, which meant I went around to seeing his side of the family like that, even my grandmother. So is it sad to lose one of my grandmothers? Yes. You know what I mean? A little teardrop or two drop out. But like, it's not super heartbreaking because I wasn't super close with her. When you have family members that pass away and you're just like, well, I wasn't that close, so it you do feel that loss, and you do feel like, okay, it's somewhat like, it's sad, but it doesn't like hurt, like it doesn't hit that hard. But nevertheless, it still is sad because I was planning. She was coming down to North Carolina with my father, because he was trying to get her like, yo, come down here, you know, it can help you out, be better. And I was legit trying to go see her during the summer. Of course, that didn't pan out. And now I won't get the chance to, which in that aspect is sad. But that's life. And if anything, this teaches you in like the thing about things in life that happen, these experiences, you have to learn from them. And in each one, there's sort of like a lesson in a sense. And this one is more so just like, yo, just, you know, again, how death always teaches you, spend time with people because you are not immortal. Okay, you're not immortal, and other people are not immortal. It doesn't matter what age they are. It doesn't matter how older, how much younger. Anybody can go. Okay, as soon as you're born, you have a set date where you're going to die. Okay, the only time people live forever is through like music or like art that they leave behind or family photos maybe, or like you make a super duper big impact and people remember you throughout time, then yeah. But otherwise than that, you only got a limited time. A lot of people, due to like health reasons, may only get 50 years. You know, lucky people get to 70 or 80, or the really blessed ones get to be like 90 something and live like super long lives. But if anything, it's just, you know, the people who you do have here, the people that are alive, your grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, second cousins, just having some type of memory with them, just a couple memories, just like hanging out, being cool, like talking, having, you know, good times, just the experience with them. Just treasure that, or try to make as much of those as you can. Not forcefully, just, you know, just as you're going with it, do it. Okay? Because I the only memory I have is maybe when I was like 5, and my father had came up to New Jersey for like a couple days just to visit, so I got to spend the weekend with him. I hated leaving too. That it was just like, yo, like he's here finally, and then like I had to leave. But going over to her house, and the one thing I remember, she had like the oatmeal raisin like cream pies or something. I don't know. I remember that. You remember certain like foods. You remember certain smells. You remember like how apartments were. But outside of that, I don't have any memories to latch onto or any experience with her to myself remember. So it's more so again where it sucks because like your family member almost feels uh like not a stranger in a sense, but almost like it's more so estranged, but kind of straddling the line of like I don't know you as well as I should, or as well as I need to, or as well as I wish I did. So that kind of makes it a little bit sadder, but then again, you know, it kind of shows you, hey, just treasure the times you have with the people. Like call my mom earlier, call my sister. I love them both. Those are the two that helped me throughout life. Continue to help me too. Um, and my grandmother on my mom's side, Grandma Rita, and my aunt, of course, who's always been there. So all of them, and my cousin Lanique, who has kids of her own, and my aunt Julie too. My aunt Julie definitely helped out a lot. So happy Mother's Day to them, and definitely happy Mother's Day to my nana, Grandma Grace Jones. Thank you for you. Love you always. I don't have the memories, but I do have the love. So there's always that. There's no matter what, always got the love. Yeah, you know when I when I gotta take those like sidebar. It's not. I don't want to call it negative because it's just life. Hydrate. I hope the sound of me drinking doesn't make it in there. I don't know, But it's just life. Like when people say life be lifing, that's how you sum it up. Like life be lifing. Okay, that's all you can talk about it. That's all you can sum it up as. Just life be life, and you don't have any way to control many of the forces in life. You can just control what you do and how you react to those forces and how you live around those forces. Yeah, that's how it's going. Now let's brighten it up a little bit. All right, just like my face with this light. I might turn this light off in a minute because it isn't showing me in a better light, in a shinier light. Possibly. Okay? I feel like the news light is on me or something. Brah. Nevertheless, anime update. Fire Force's Heat. Pun intended. Shinra, my boy. He has some blue flames on him. Yo, one thing you gotta know about fire, right? Whenever you see normal fire, the orange, reddish type color, cool, hot, very hot. When you see blue flames, that's the hottest flames, okay? That's the real heat. Once you see some blue flames, that's when you know it's stepping up a notch. You going against a guy that just gets stronger with fire and just cancels it out. You still dominate that. You doing things. And I already know like from the manga a couple of things. I already know how it ends and I already know how it connects to the other anime and manga that the same creator made, Soul Eater. I can't wait to see that because I think either this is the last season or it's this season and maybe a fourth season. That's all you need. So Fire Force is getting there. One Piece is already One Piece is One Piece. Okay, it's on a break right now. The episodes that I did see with the Kizaru fight and Sanji having radar for the Huz, legit radar. Just like hold on, they're over there. Like yo, what? What kind of power is that? He's kind of a pervert superpower, but it comes in handy when you have to find like your lost teammate that are women. They still cook the animation because of the grand story and the grand product that One Piece is. Dog, they putting a foot in. You see that brightness that clears up? They putting a foot in when it comes to One Piece. Very long story, yes, but long journeys sometimes are the best journeys, especially when you see like what happens at each step and how they've come. Like comparing Luffy then when he first started to comparing him now, he's got the has he changed overall? No, not in a big way. He's still keeping forward with the same thing. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. I got my crew. You know, my people's got my back. We need to go search for the One Piece. He's been like that the whole time. So, but his power level from what he could do, like, yo, I'm a rubber man. This is, I gum fist and gum foot to being like this god with Toon Force and learning out what his actual fruit might have been or what actually is out of there. My Hero Vigilantes is still cooking. Okay, I like to see the side where, because you have the heroes went to school. Yeah, you might be a sidekick, or you might be somebody that makes the gear, or you might actually become a legalized hero, right? People go through all those steps. But what about the people that can't get through those steps or can't make it but still want to be heroes? Well, if you're not a legal hero, you're a vigilante. And vigilantes is fire. More so because the main character, and you call him the crawler, right? The main character, because he's definitely more so the main character. The other two, like, they're there. They're going to be involved a lot, but still, he's the main character. His power at first, it seems dumb. You got to make 3 points of contact and whatever surface you can skate on. That's not really dumb, but it's super slow. But as he's learning in the moment, like how to like increase his speed with without stopping, or like trying to get better at stopping by reversing before he needs to really stop, or being able to change direction, like he's turning his Cork from Oh Man, that just looks kind of lame. Like it's cool preference, but it looks kind of lame because it's super so like a moped to figuring out how to better do things and like where he's going to go. Because again, manga spoiled a lot. People out there who read the manga spoiled a lot. You know what I mean? To see where he's gonna end up is pretty cool. Especially, well, more so how his power comes when he ends up. It's pretty cool. And the background on Knuckle Duster, definitely cool. To Be Hero X. If I have to go with anime, so far runner in the running anime of the year, I'm going to give that to Be Hero X. China, I don't know what's in your waters, but when it comes to these animation clips I see with stuff like Super Cube and this one where like people are able to summon like elemental animals to help them in battle, and it was some other thing too, like Guardian of the something, I don't know, but fire, especially with some video game I was looking at how it looked. To Be Hero X, there is not an episode where I was just like, eh. Each episode is interesting. And what is it now? It's 6 episodes out now. I usually give something 5 episodes. And if I don't know if I said this before, but To Be Hero X after these 5 episodes, definitely a go see, definitely a must watch. It's only 6 episodes out, so you got time to catch up. And the dope thing about it is that there's a series of stories that are happening. 4 episodes, it was about one protagonist. Now you're getting these other two, or it's supposed to be like these like next 4 that are up, supposed to be about a whole new antagonist, a whole new hero. So it's coming up like that. And so far, it's good. Like, especially with how they handle cliffhangers here and there. Very nice. Very the how else do I explain it? Like the story is just good. Like it's not just some random story. The magic system, which is how they get their superpowers, which is almost like how deities operate. Not to say that they're deities, but when you're like a superpower being amongst normies, amongst the mundane, you kind of look. If this was like the like 20,000 years ago, you'd be considered a god. This faith-based system, not faith-based system, but it kind of is a faith-based system, where when you have believers and people that are like, oh, I seen this person save this person. Oh yeah, he saved them. I seen them do this. Like when you gain those followers, just like how you gain followers online, like yo, when you gain those followers that are like, oh, he is a superhero. Enough people that say that, you start to not only become a superhero, develop a certain superpower based on how people see you, but also you gain more power the more that people see you in that light, and the more followers you have, the more people that big you up. Now, just like it works for the heroes, the same it can work for the villains too. They see you as a villain, they see your power, like, oh, that's scary. Like, nah, he looks more like a villain. I seen him do this. They're a villain. That it goes into that way too, because you can have the faith that someone is a very good hero, or you can have faith that someone is a very bad villain. In that sense, so between all of that stuff, very, very top notch. Okay, very top notch. Uh, was there another anime? I started watching SSS. There was SSSS Gridman, which was like a boy that could like kind of turn into a huge robot. Then there's this follow up one where this guy can summon a giant robot that he needs 4 other people to help him control, almost like a Power Ranger thing in a sense, to fight kaiju's. I'm trying to get into it. I don't know. Gundam, Gundam GQ. It's like a whole bunch of U's in it or something. The alternate history one where there's a ceasefire with things, and that one is well animated. It's on Amazon Prime. That one's good too. Gundam stock is going up. Okay, Gundam stock is going very up. Uh, I was about to say it's hot as hell, but that's my fault because I got this hoodie on. No, Gundam stock is definitely going up. My favorite Gundam, of course, of all time is going to be Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. I had to say that super fast. It wouldn't fit with McDonald's. That's it for anime updates. And I got something else about anime too. I'm gonna get into that after movie updates. I'm still waiting to go see Thunderbolts. I didn't see. The one thing about movies now, if you don't go see it within like the first 2 days, fuck it. Within the first day, if you don't go see it, spoilers are going to be on there. People are going to record what's happening in the movie theater on TikTok and just put it up. And it's not just like the scenes from the trailers. They're going to put up scenes that like towards the end of the movie, so it spoils it for you. Didn't seen a couple already. It's like having to wait to see it. Like the longer you wait, the more chances you have of just your favorite podcasters talking about it, spoiling it for you. The whole internet just putting up simple pictures, and even the Marvel people themselves, which you've already seen it by now. Thunderbolts was out for maybe a day, and then the posters they altered it because it has Thunderbolts asterisk. There's like a little asterisk, and then they started ripping that part off and just like New Avengers. It's like, oh, so now they're New Avengers. Well, damn. Thanks for that. So I've gotten enough info where like I know what's going to happen in the movie. I just got to see it. But from what I'm hearing, is definitely fire. It seems like Marvel's going back to the right direction because a lot of these movies are like hit or miss, and the shows, but it seems like they're going back into the right direction. So who knows? Hopefully they are. Uh, I'm wait. That Fantastic Four movie looks so good. I can't wait to see that. I just want to. I personally liked the Fantastic Four, the first two that came out with Fantastic Four and the one that had Chris Evans in it. He did good as Johnny. In fact, that was a very good Johnny Storm. Very accurate. The banter between him and Grimm was very, very believable. Not too crazy, not too mean. Your boy, when your boy Michael B. Jordan, first off, when they had it like, oh, he's gonna be black, and then not only is Johnny Storm gonna be black, but you got Sue Storm, who's like an adopted family member, and they tried to do something different with the power. It didn't work. It didn't work. The Doctor Doom on there looked stupid. Nah. Try again. They tried again, and this time they're going to it looks like they're gonna nail it. It looks like they're gonna nail it. Happy, can't wait to see it. I'm in there. I'm in there like swimwear. I think it comes out what, like next month or this month? And Sinners was already out for a minute. When I put this topic up, I had just watched Sinners, and I was just waiting for some more topics because it couldn't just be health updates, anime updates, and a Sinners review. Sinners was bomb. Sinners was fire. Don't listen to those other people out there. They're like, it was this. It was, I didn't get it. There's deep stuff for you to look at and understand, and it's good when movies get you talking like that. Listen, if you do that shit with a Kendrick album, then you love this movie because there's so much in it that you could look at. Like it's not like super deep to where you can't see things for how they are and understand like what certain things mean and the feeling that you get from the movie taking place in that time period in the South, what some of the symbolism is in there. I liked it. Some people didn't like there was spoiler too, but there is a scene in there where Preacher Boy is playing music, and as he's playing music, it's talking about how playing music can bring about like your ancestors, like the spirits, ancestors from from the dead, and certain spirits, and even can transcend time, as it's showing like people on the drums, and it's showing people who are rapping and how they're dancing, electric guitar, and even there's Asian people that are in there too. So we're showing like the Asian people's ancestors coming out and the liveliness of what music does. what the vampires actually stood for besides just being vampires, and how they operated too. Because again, slight spoiler, they had sort of a hive mind thing going on. I don't remember that. I do remember it was just like, okay, maybe the vampire that bit you can kind of have like a tracking thing on you, or they kind of know what you're feeling in a sense, or they have that sort of direct command over you. But otherwise, in that hive mind shit, I don't remember that. That's different. Still cool though. Still cool. The movie definitely gets a. It definitely gets a 9.5 out of 10 for me. And I might just be doing it most just because I don't want to give a movie a 10 out of 10. But honestly, you know, man, give it a 10 out of 10. Fuck out of here. 10 out of 10 for me. Go watch it. Go understand it. Go do the little deep dives. Enjoy it. Don't worry about what other people have to say about the movie. Just enjoy it for you. And to get into a different topic, which was funny, but there's something that always comes up that has to involve, you guessed it, men. Who would you trust, a man or a bear in the woods? Dumbest shit ever. 100 men is 100 men versus anything. Okay, 100 men versus anything is funny. 100 men versus a gorilla. The way that you would think about it is just like, yo, a gorilla is strong, but it's not, oh, I'm kicking ass like I'm Madara in the fourth great ninja war type strong. Everybody has a certain stamina limit. And once you hit that stamina limit and it's like, yo, we gotta kill this gorilla, we gouging eyes, we using whatever. But make no mistake, those first lucky, not even lucky, those first sacrifices are going to catch big work. Big work. Gorillas have a crazy muscle structure, bone structure, different type of makeup and how they survive, and it's just different, okay? Even with just their bare hands, them fucking knuckles that they got are hard as shit, okay? Gorillas be going up against cheetahs and sometimes lions. 100 men versus a gorilla, though, even the gorilla experts came out and said, yeah, it's funny, but humans will have that. Gorilla will go through a lot of humans, but still, humans will have that. Yeah. So yeah, it's always funny because it's always a certain number of men against something, or men. What would you rather? Would you rather fall off a bridge or go on a date with a man or something like that? It's always something in society. I don't know what it is, especially today. Men are getting shitted on to the extent. But lighten up, because once we start making those jokes, like 100 women jokes or something like that, then all the think pieces want to come out. Then it's like, oh man, this is what is that, misogynistic, and like, yo, come on, we trying to have fun too. 100 women on the same trip. How many of them stop being friends? Shit like that. Because that actually happens. That actually happens, dog. How many women stay best friends after 10 years in a group of 20? Who makes the first rumor? A little fun, like little poke, little fun like that. Leave men alone. Video game topic. I said Nintendo. I mentioned Nintendo earlier. Nintendo was tripping. Save that for the last one. We're going to go with what is, in my opinion. First off, my fall off from games. Does it have to be studied? No. But I understand games up front, especially when I go to play it, like, yeah, wasting my time, or not as saying that. Did that with Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Dragon Ball Xenoverse was cool for a little bit, and then I was just like, wait, this is it? Their what if stories should have been 10 times better. We've seen it with Xenoverse. Xenoverse got a myriad of things you could do. You get to this where it shouldn't be like on like that's what happens when you go away from story and you focus solely on, oh yeah, they're going to be playing this online, which a lot of people were fucking it up online for a couple months, and then it just died down because you're going to use the same characters or the same scheme or the same tricks. I always liked um Budokai Tenkaichi for the stories, because you could play the stories and you could use all these characters, and then how they had it to where you could put certain items. It was like up to like 8 items or something, but you could put certain items on the characters to make them that much better. And you, if I'm not, maybe this was PlayStation 2, so maybe you could play online, but that wasn't the point. It was just you strengthen them up to do the actual challenges, or like to go through the story, or maybe there's like side stuff that you got to do to unlock certain characters. I like how they did the story and how they did the character customization in that. They didn't bring this over to this one. This one was just, oh, we're gonna say we do what if to give you a little bit of story, and then you guys just play online. That's it. That's your game. Download content, this that. With all that Dragon Ball Z has had, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is 10 times better than this. Y'all have to make a game where it's Dragon Ball and you're Goku, and you have to go from Kid Goku all the way up until the, what is it, the 23rd martial arts world tournament where he's fighting like Teen Piccolo. Go to that point, and then going from that to the Saiyan saga all the way up to the Buu saga, and then going from Buu to then choosing to like, oh, you can go from here to GT, or you can go from here to Super. Like Count GT is like a side, like a multiverse thing, or a what if story or something like that. But yo, and then include Daima into those like alternate stories, or not even alternate, like it's kind of, nah, Daima's canon, so maybe include Daima first and then do Super, but then they would have to make sense of it, so just put Daima as like a side thing or something. That's what Dragon Ball Z Kakarot did. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, it has stuff that involves Kid Goku, the Trunks, future Trunks arc, Bardock story. After you're done with that main part for Goku, going from the Saiyan saga to the Buu saga, they have the Golden Frieza thing, and fighting. They also have fighting Beerus and training up to be a god for that. I want them to have the Tournament of Power. We ain't get there, but possibilities. But now they're adding Dragon Ball Daima. Like them doing stuff like that. That's how you do a Dragon Ball Z game. This bullshit that they're doing with Sparking Zero, no, you missed it. Y'all don't understand the intellectual property that you have and what you could do with it, because you don't outsource. You don't hit other people like, hey, what ideas do you have? It's the same thing with Pokemon. Pokemon is starting to get stale. Okay, turn-based is cool. Talk about a turn-based game that I think is game of the year too, but turn-based is cool, but maybe change it up a little bit. And it looks like they're changing it up to where you can kind of like dodge as you're doing with this next Pokemon. You can maybe dodge or defend as somebody is using their attack. Upgrade, sure, but we want to see more than just like you're still giving us Nintendo 3DS type stuff. Like we want to see a grander thing. Okay, expand the Pokemon world. All the Pokemon that we've got over the years, and you give us only a selection to choose from. Like, instead of the regular 8 badge system, shit, get it to a point where it's a big ass continent, and you need to go collect. Like, maybe you still need to go collect 8 badges, but you now have like 20 different gyms to choose from, depending on where you go, how you get there. Like, do something different. Okay, maybe you get the 8 badges, and then you can battle the other ones for practice or something. Maybe they give you like a specific access to like a Pokemon area or something. Like there's so many things they could do, and they just choose not to. They just choose to go sue Power World, which was doing a different thing, which is doing its own thing, and they were mad at the success it was getting because people were like, yo, this type of Pokemon game where it's got these graphics and these physics and you can do all this stuff would be fire. And y'all still choose to do it on this small, I'm treating the Switch as small, this small time thing. Nintendo's getting outdated. Nintendo's getting outdated with what they're doing. They keep trying to like, oh, look, here's some more Mario stuff. Here's some more Donkey Kong stuff. Here's some more, I don't know, Mario Kart. Like, this is cool, I guess. But they're bugging out with the user agreement. The user agreement they came up with is like, yo, you can't alter the system. You can't download stuff that modifies it, yada, yada. You want to use a camera, you have to use this bullshit 720p camera that we got, which is super outdated. We got 4K cameras that we can have. Webcams that do the most. And you decide to do stuff like that. How they're doing the video game downloads for the Switch 2, the physical one is not even, the game isn't on the physical thing. It's just the key, like, oh, this is just to say there's no reason to get the physical one. Okay? Now, should digital cost less than physical? Absolutely. But the physical makes no sense because you're just giving them a cartridge that says, oh yeah, they're allowed to download it from the internet. You have to be on the internet. People that don't have good internet, big middle finger to you. Get good. Pretty much that's what they're saying. And like, yo, come on, B. Like, Nintendo just taking steps back. Like, they'd rather just like, oh, the user agreement, like they have the right to like block your system from working. Your system that you paid a whole bunch of money for. Any games that you got, like, yo, you don't even know your games. We just let you download it for now. If we feel like taking it off and doing something else with it, then we could do that. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's the user agreements. Start researching user agreements. Start looking at the people. There are people who take their time to use it and break it down for you. Start looking at that, because now companies are trying to do sneaky stuff when they put user agreements in, and and they can start getting weirder and weirder to the point where we're gonna have to start kicking some corporation ass. And that's coming soon. Yeah, Nintendo 2, and people are fighting back and they're rising up against it, and it looking like Nintendo Switch to make its sales. Yeah, people got to review it and see what it's about and this and that, but Nintendo is starting to go downhill, and I'm all for it because Nintendo needs to do what Sega does, which is, yo, you know, we don't have game systems, but we're like a company that makes games, and we just put them on PlayStation, or we put them on Xbox, or we put them on Nintendo Switch, or we put them on Steam, stuff like that. Nintendo, if Pokemon was able to be, well, never mind, Power World showed you like Pokemon on consoles, on actual consoles, not the little like travel with consoles, which again, you're gonna need internet in a sense, and the travel time isn't even that advantageous because you only get so much battery life. Putting Pokemon on a console, there's so much you could do with that. So many Pokemon models you could have, how the scale of it, how it would look. You could probably fit all of the Pokemon generation continents on there. Continents. But they don't want to make that money. Beyond them. That's, if it's gotta fail, it's gotta fail. And Nintendo has to go down so that way their games can get better in a sense, okay? Nintendo doesn't know what they're doing. Sorry, buddy, you gotta go down. And you're trying to fuck over the people who have supported you for years since like the 80s. You gotta go down. Sorry. Expedition 33. And let me take a sip of water before I talk about it, because I was heavy into this game. Damn, that tastes good. It's because I'm talking a lot. All right, Expedition 33. This was a turn-based game, but this turn-based game allowed you to, instead of just standing there and taking the damage, which is never really smart at all because a lot of the attacks are crazy good, it allowed you to either parry, which would give you like a certain like magic point, and with the succession of parrying all the attacks the enemy can throw at you, you have a counter attack that comes out. That doesn't cost your turn, it's just a counter attack. Parry system, and of course the dodge system. And it's all time. Like if you know how the enemy's attacks are going to go, because the enemy will more so have like maybe 2 to 3 different types of attacks. And if you have the pattern down right, you can parry them shits like a god. You can parry them or dodge them. If you're not good at parrying, just learn how to dodge better. But you can parry it and have a better strategy for taking them down. You get a little bit of character customization with the looks, just a little bit. But when it comes to special abilities that they have, like they have something called Pictos and Loomis, and their skill tree, which you can stack up stuff. You can use the Pictos along with your skill tree and the Lumens, and you can create. I done seen builds where somebody's made a one-shot build. Somebody's made a build where you have the ability to, if you're not using your skill to attack, you can like, if you have like points, like call them MPs, they're APs, but call them MPs. If you have enough of those points, then you can just shoot the enemy one time and each AP equals one shot. People have had like infinite shots to the point where they're able to just defeat a boss, just continually shooting them. The builds are cool. The story's good. Yo, you again, if I didn't explain it or you didn't see it, Expedition 33, there's a thing that happens where they call this the paintress. And whenever she comes out, there's a big number that's on like this big monolith. You're in someplace you call Lumiere, but it's basically France. Something happened with France and it's like just this continent for some reason. Like you know how whenever Japan makes an anime and the whole world is destroyed except for a small part of Japan, then they're the only ones that can help to save the world again. It's with this one. You have Paris that's been, well, Lumiere is there. Big mountain, big monolith in the background. Has a big number on it. It has a 34. What happens is there's a being called the paintress that goes up, erases that whole number, and puts a new number. The new number is one number less than the previous one. Whoever is that age or older is what they call gomage. Pretty much, they get the Thanos snap and they die. They're out of existence. So what Expedition 33 is, you're on the expedition. You're Expedition 33. And you and a group of people, as they've always done with each expedition each year, you have to venture out into this continent that's been twisted with these different creatures, and you have to try to get to the paintress, and you have to try to kill her, so that way it stops people from getting gomage, so that way people can try to actually live rather than having this limited time. Because you gotta think, like, yo, if you have a society of people who are only 30, like 32, 33, those are the elders. There's dangerous implications of like the kids that are running around, because if each year the number's going down and they're getting older, there's going to be a point where like you're 32, you can't have kids, because your kids, by the time they get 16, they're going to have to be the ones that go out, and unless they're like some type of anime characters just like Gundam where they're 16 but they're disgusting, unless they're like that, it's cooked, and the number's just going to keep going down until society's out of there. So you're part of Expedition 33. You get a couple of characters that you get in your party. You gotta edit them, make sure that they're up to the task, and just defeat things along the way and try to get to the bottom of trying to get to the paintress and defeat her before people get gomage and it continues. Game of the year in my edition. Graphics are great. The story is great. The turn-based action. You see some podcasts and they're like, oh, somebody's had this system, the parry system in there, the block system. Another game has had, turn-based has been around forever, and editing like this is in this game. It's like, yeah, but this game has all of those good points in one. So, game is lovely, no complaints. And even their new plus mode, you have a weapon that has 3 levels. In the first part, you can only get to 2 levels. The highest you can get is 2 levels. That third one still has an effect that's very useful. New game plus, the monsters are a little more spongier, and you can still you can continue to upgrade. You keep all your stuff, like New Game Plus normally is. Continue to upgrade. You can actually unlock that third slot for that weapon to get that ability and keep raising its level too. So yeah, the New Game Plus, it's worth it to play it and then play it one more time. I will say that. Me, I played it through once. I'm good. Still game of the year in my opinion. Definitely worth it. Free on Xbox. I don't know if it's on PlayStation. If it is, honestly, it's only $50. It's worth the buy. So definitely get it. Where we at? 50 minutes? 50 minutes. Today, it ain't going to be a 2-hour one either. Because I just thought about something. Forget it. Getting back into art and drawing. Getting back into it. Okay? I've said it before. I was talking about the military. I went in the military. Before the military, I was in an arts high school. Went in there to draw 4 years. Ever since I was little, if you gave me something blank, even the back of homework, I would draw small stuff on it. If I seen a show that I liked, I would draw characters that I think fit in that universe, or maybe it would fit in that style. Always drawing, no matter what it was. I went in the military. You gotta shift your attention to certain stuff, but I definitely lost it. I tried to even draw while I was in the military. It wasn't happening. And I lost that spark completely. I get out, I'm still trying to capture it here and there. It's just not there. My spark dies from drawing, but it reemerges when I go to college in creative writing. So now I start to become a writer. I start writing my stories, like how I get creative with it. Sometimes I'll see something and I'll come up with an idea, jot it down, try to figure out if I can make a big story out of it. ADHD, I start popping from story to story to story. I'm an idea man. When it comes to the stories, that person be like, hey, what if we did this and had this, and then we had the characters do this? All right, go ahead, expand that and throw it to somebody. It's fun to me, but I miss drawing, and that's a part of me as a disabled veteran having so much time now. I try to get my mind right, my body right. I have a chance to maybe reignite that spark when it comes to drawing. And that's the journey I'm on now. I'm on a journey to try and get that spark back. Because as much as I do creative writing, I do miss maybe, and I'm not saying that I'm gonna be the, you know, the best artist coming back into it, but I just want to draw again. And yes, I'm starting from the basics. I had got a couple of videos that I got access to that go over the basics. I'm gonna go over that and then look at some more basics and some more and try to do more stuff like starting with figure drawing and shapes and then getting the clothes, and so that way poses and stuff. There's so much with art and drawing, and with the time that I have when it comes to improving myself to be better as far as helping out, because art can be another thing that helps with depression. I want to get back into it to also spark up a little more happiness, something else that'll make me happy. So when I do get super down, then maybe I can just draw something super quick that'll pick me up, or that won't have me as down as I would be without it. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. I got a mini little art kit thing, and I got a red pencil, a regular pencil, and on my TikTok, because I've been looking at art stuff and talking about art, there's more videos that pop up in between there. So I follow a couple of artists that give like drawing hints, and I'm going on their videos and looking to see how they draw stuff and trying to mimic that too. Trying to build up the Rolodex so that way I can draw my own stuff. I really want to. My goal, not to be like a comic artist or anything, but every now and like here and there, I just want to draw. I just want to draw things that are based off of the universes that I create. Like with my stories, but like the superhero story I got, or the fantasy story, or the alternate history story I got, the alien story that I got. Like I got a couple of stories, like 8 in total, that I really settled down and work on. And I just want to draw from that. Like we got comics, we got DC, we got Marvel, and every time I see them, I just look like, yo, like, A, I want to create stories as grand as theirs is, even though it's taken like 80 something years to get to this point, or like how they're getting to, or how the characters have. I just want to create these connecting stories, or maybe each story has its own universe that's just as big. And then I also want to, like, in art, you'll always start off, for me, it was drawing anime. You draw superheroes, you draw the villains, stuff like that. But I want to be able to draw stuff that I can kind of see already. Like if I see a character, if I'm writing a character and I'm thinking about how they would look and how they would look in like a certain outfit or superhero costume or style, I want to be able to draw that for myself so that people can see, like, oh, this is the character I'm talking about, and this is what they look like, and this is how they look. This is why they chose that outfit, or maybe this is how they look after a big battle, stuff like that, so people can really get more of an inside look at I guess my creativeness or creativity, or how I look at these worlds compared to how I write them, stuff like that. I'm just a creative guy, and creativity is right up there next to godliness. Not is godliness, but next to godliness. We cannot be God, but we are of God. So the next best thing is just to be creative. Be creative. And to wrap this up, and let me drink some water, because god damn it, you gotta hydrate. You know what we talk about? We talk about aura. Okay, we talk about aura out there in the anime community. Look it up. People's talking about who had more aura. Was it Sun Jin Woo or oh my god, Sun Jin Woo or Gojo, Satoru Gojo. And people have their reasons for this or that. I'm not gonna hold you. When it comes to solo leveling, my boy Sun Jin Woo is pure aura. When you look up aura, it's him. It's a story about him being him and being more him as he goes through his adventure. That's just it. They both have it like in their own rights. They both have their own level of aura. Because Gojo from birth, people really couldn't touch him, couldn't mess with him. Even like the deadliest of assassins, just like, I gotta wait till he's really weak. I can't do nothing right now. But with Sun Jin Woo, my man from the jump, the worst type of level of power, and still was helping out in the best way when the time came down to it, and still put his life on the line, and was able to get a second chance to, like, yo, if you work hard, you can get up to S rank and maybe even beyond, but that depends on you. And what is he doing? He's working hard, and he's getting up there. Hard work. He wasn't born with it. He earned it, and he continues to earn it. And he shows us what he's doing with the power that he's earning, and he's pushing himself farther. I gotta send you Woo. I'm like, or who got the sauce? Maybe Gojo got the sauce. He is fighting people blindfolded. I can't even front. Maybe Gojo got the sauce, but Sun Jin Woo got the aura. I don't. I don't know. That's a whole nother debate. I gotta try to bring that up somewhere else. But that got me thinking: who has the And I'm just gonna go to my top 10 anime. Who has the best aura to me in each one of those? Okay. And for me, I'm about to. Here's the thing. I always say it. I'm bad with names. Super bad with names. Damn, that shit showed up bright. I don't know why. I don't have memory problems like that where just I can't remember anything. It's just when it comes to names, I remember a face. Like, oh, I seen you around. I seen you a couple times. Yeah, cool. The names, and I tell people all the time, like, yo, no disrespect. It's not like you're not super important or anything. It's just names. You tell me directions, you got to tell me like, oh, the building from this and this and that is around there. Okay, I got you. You just tell me names of places and streets and stuff. I don't know. Without a GPS, I'm lost, baby. But let's just go. Let's see who I think has the aura. Maybe other than the main character, who has the aura? No. Just who has the aura in the show? Maybe other than the main character. For each of my top 10. In my top 10, which again, if you don't know, when it comes to anime, Cowboy, and not in a particular order neither. Don't, oh man, he thought that was number one. No. It's Cowboy Bebop, Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans, Full Metal Alchemist, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Same difference. Frieren, Gurren Lagann, Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto. All right. Now, Cowboy Bebop, your boy Spike, super aura. Tons of it. Spike, and it's definitely the name, like Spike Spiegel. Who, who else would have aura? And again, and I went over those and I talked about those on my TikTok, like each episode. Dog, Cowboy Bebop. I don't know. Cowboy Bebop story and like the opening, even the ending, the movie. That shit is always going to be in my top 10 regardless. I don't care what other anime has come out. That's always my top 10. What other characters had that sort of aura? I don't. So far, I think the only one is Spike for me. Spike is just him. He's just a cool ass. He's just a cool ass guy. Even the main cast, I can't like just a him type of energy. Vicious definitely had that energy where if niggas mentioned Vicious, you almost knew what time it was. And the way that Vicious moved, just like his name, Vicious. All right, the arch enemy to Spike Spiegel. He was making some moves, going up against the crime syndicate, laying out that plan. He not even in like my top villains though, but other than Spike Spiegel, the aura, yeah. Especially how Spike operated, how cool he was, how he kicked ass. Aura. Now we go to first off, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. You ain't never gonna find a number two like the main character, okay? You're never gonna find a number two. Um, I'm trying to think of who else had the aura. Orga? Orga maybe. Mika Mikazuki was just different. Okay. And what's crazy is even he's the main character, but he was the number two to Orga. Orga was the leader. Orga was that guy that was just like, yo, I just thought no. Orga was the guy. Orga was the leader. He's like, yo, you know what? We gotta rise up from this, whatever. But Mikazuki, if Orga said, yo, and it was in one of the episodes, Orga was like, man, aim the gun at that nigga right there. Mikazuki didn't flinch or nothing, just a movement. It's like, oh, you're the opposition? Bang. It's no questions, no why are we doing this? Are you sure we should do this? Oh, if Mikazuki got the gun and Orga say fire when I say fire, fire, he's blowing your house down like the wolf. No questions asked. And when he got into the Gundam Barbatos Lupus, that ending scene, and this is one of the animes I always say made me cry at the end because the way that Mikazuki went out, like a true fucking. I got my brothers. I know what this means. I gotta do this. Yeah. When he got in that suit, he's overpowering himself. He got the blood going down everywhere. It didn't matter. The mission mattered, and whatever Orga told him to do, that was it. He had to follow it through. He felt like he had to follow it through because I'm looking for the other guy to that TV tropes. Oh, no, TV tropes. I'm looking for the other Akihiro. Akihiro. Besides, Orga had like, you know what I mean? He had, I wouldn't say he had the aura. It was all Mikazuki. Akihiro, when they took his lady, like when they shot her, and that shit came, oh man. He was like, yo, you know what I mean? I found somebody to be happy about. I There's a point where I found my brother trying to help him out. When he got into his Gundam, he was definitely about that business. But him fighting that last stand with Mikazuki and like him putting it all on the line until he died, and he was pissed about his lady. Nah, yeah, y'all don't understand it. He crushed that. He crushed that nigga with that big ass fucking plier thing that he had just to put the beats on old buddy. Boy, you had two dogs. You had Mikazuki and you had Akihiro. They was gonna do what they had to do to get done what had to be done. So yeah, I'm putting him heart or aura. He had more heart than he had aura. It wasn't like when he stepped on the scene, niggas was like, oh. Only one was Mikazuki because Mikazuki was always in there. You know what? Nah, Mikazuki was always in there like working his ass off, and then they knew like if he came up on the scene and if you're in the way, you're out of there. If Orga says you're in the way, you're gone. Get out of there. You're out of there. Full Metal Alchemist. Who had that aura? Besides Ed? To tell you the truth, Ed didn't even have shit. It's the Full Metal Alchemist, but sometimes they didn't even know it was him. They thought it was his brother, Al. So maybe Scar had the. May, who had that aura? Cause only when Ed got pissed did he have that slightly, but he didn't have it all the way throughout the show. He he went crazy, and he's him. Roy Mustang. Roy Mustang, when he had to torch them fucking homunculus up towards the end, absolute fire. He he would get snappy with it, like, you know what I mean? Like he was at a RuPaul's Drag Race, dog. Just sparks everywhere. 4th of July, lighting shit up on the barbecue. Who on the grill? Mustang on the grill. Mustang grills. Do it. Somebody do it. Do it. Do it. King Bradley. King Bradley? Because already being at that position he was in, people already showed him that, like, oh, it's Bradley. I'm trying to think. Bradley had that. When he stepped on the scene, niggas was like, oh shit. And then when they found out he was Wrath, and they was really trying to get at him, and there was nothing they could do. He'll lift that eye patch up, and you seen that homunculus symbol on the eye. He was getting busy with the sword. Just kind of, boy. And you know him as like he's almost like the passive like higher up, cool, got a little smile on every now and again. Oh, this my wife, this my son. Son's a homunculus, by the way. I'm just I'm a family man here and there, but I'm also about my goals. And then just being Wrath and being out there and kicking all sorts of ass. And your boy, was it nah, not Lust. Nah, it wasn't that. Greed? No, it was Greed. Greed was trying to fight him. Yeah. Greed was trying to do the most. He was trying to fight Bradley. Bradley was whipping his ass. So I don't. Yeah, I say he had the word, him or Scar. Scar definitely had that, like, oh shit, it's Scar. People knew what Scar. Suddenly they knew what Scar looked like. They knew if he got that hand on you, it was pure destruction. He had that look in his eye. He was Ishvalin, red eyes. He was dark skin with red eyes and white hair. Don't get no more standoutish than that. Nigga looked like what's the thing in One Piece that King was? I forgot what they were. It wasn't Lunarians. Was it Lunarians? I don't know, but it was like something where like the wings and the fire and the hair and the skin and the. Let me see if I can speed through this too. Freerun, pissed off. Freerun didn't even get pissed off like that. Man, you talk about aura. As I'm starting to think about these shows, I'm like, wait a minute. There's key moments where they have aura. There's key moments in Freerun. Freerun, first of all, Freerun fighting that demon mage that was asleep for 80 years and then finally came up to it and was just breaking down like, yo, what you're trying to beat us with now? Because 80 years ago, we didn't have no way to beat that. So we were able to lock you away for 80 years. We have since that attack that you have, that's fucking it does what it does, but it's basic. Your attacks are basic now. That's what I like about the magic system. We've studied your shit, we reversed engineered it, and we found ways to defend against it to the point now where it's just seen as basic magic. Fern was looking at it like, yo, She got scared. Not even. She wasn't even scared. She just had this look on her face. And I say maybe Fern has aura when she has to do like magic stuff too, because she don't got no like she don't got too many expressions. It's just go with it. Oh, I gotta deflect this, this, and this. Let me just create multiple shields around me. Looked at this demon mage and was like, Freerun, you said he was a very powerful mage, but he's hitting me with basic magic. So I don't get it. What? If I think I'm dominating shit and then I come over and I'm about to try and do it again after 80 years and you're calling my shit basic after I know for a fact I was cooking? I was Wilt Chamberlain. And then I come up and I look like, I don't know, I might be whatever other, like Derek Coleman or something like that. But Fern maybe had that aura possibly. But it's like in key times. Like when you think about aura, like nobody's had it like Spike Spiegel got aura. Nobody's had it like Sun Jin Woo who steps on the scene, or Gojo, or Sukuna in a sense too. Free Sukuna? You already knew what time it was. There's aura moments. I want to say there's characters that got heart. Yusuke's got aura. Yusuke's got aura. Ichigo, when he was saving Rukia, mad aura. Especially his Bankai. This nigga get a little long ass Gucci Louis Vuitton black robe and his sword to match. Just with it, just dashing off with it. Now, when it Dragon Ball Z, Goku's goofy. He ain't got that aura. He ain't got that aura. That Super Saiyan arc part, that was aura. Top aura moments, him going Super Saiyan for the first time, and him going Ultra Instinct. Mastered Ultra Instinct. The other one that had aura, Vegeta had slight moments, but it wasn't nothing super crazy. Who had aura was Jiren. Cause my man stepped on the scene and just said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stand here. If you guys need my assistance, I'm gonna be in the middle meditating." He wasn't flinching until he felt a powerful attack worthy of his time. Aura. And you couldn't beat him unless you tag team. It's not gonna take one. It's not gonna take two. It's gonna take three of y'all. You need to take four of y'all. Okay, y'all need to come up with a master plan to go up against me. I'm turning shit to fire. He was going up against old buddy that was the bounty hunter that was like using time and shit, beating him, beating everybody that came up to him. Dog, come on now. Even Frieza and Goku, force Frieza and Goku to really work together to drag this nigga down with them off the map. That's the only way it was gonna happen. He definitely had it. One Piece. There's always like there's aura moments. Mihawk kind of has aura. I can't even front that big ass sword. I know people like, yo, he ain't really doing no feats like that, but when he stepped on the scene, he was like, yo, that's Mihawk. It is that Mihawk, Kaido possibly. Zoro in certain moments, he be really having that fucking something to make you do that type of shit. Naruto is Naruto in so many moments. Sasuke in a lot of moments. Pure. I'm stepping on the scene. I'm serious. I'm the last Uchiha. Suddenly, I'm the last Uchiha. Okay. I'm the one on this. Like I pop up. Oh, that's Sasuke Uchiha. That's the last son of Krypton. Basically, like he's about to whip ass. Neji, man, that's yo. I do have the picture of Naruto Shippuden up here, but make no mistake, I put Naruto above Naruto Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden had some very cool like moments with like the whole fourth grade ninja war and learning more about the tail beast and Naruto getting Sage mode and Path of the Six Gods and stuff like that. But that beginning, like that actual like Naruto, Sasuke was just, oh, Sasuke's so cool. He was the, he had the Hiei had that. Okay, Hiei had that. A lot of your favorite animes and anime characters, really, they be copying off of Hiei swag. I'm not even going front. Hiei had that, dog. That was one of the short kings that y'all need to revere up here. But Naruto, Neji, you had Neji, people that outright knew. Cause people only realized Lee had aura after he fought Gara. They only realized like who he was. But even then, he didn't exude it like that. It was just, oh, Lee's like that, even though he only has taijutsu. And that point where he went to the when he was unlocking the eight inner gates, or a moment. But who steps on the scene and has it? Neji, called the genius. Sasuke, called the genius. Those are the two definites. Okay, if you had one or you had the other, he was just like, oh, okay, we're gonna have a tough time because them niggas are impossible. Sasuke with the especially when he got the shotgun gun, people knew what it was too because as soon as that bitch activated, like, oh, he activated his shotgun gun. Neji, cold, efficient, genius, even with the little, you know what I mean, even with the little scar on his head, was still doing things. Byakugan, as soon as that activated, you're cooked. Because they knew for a fact off the Hyuga name alone what they do to people's chakra points and pressure points and all that. Neji, with a drive to prove himself as like, oh, I'm secondary, so that means like we're trash. No. I'm putting the secondary part of the Hyuga clan on my back. I'm gonna show y'all just how powerful we can be, even if we are fucking locked down by this dumb ass curse seal that you put on us. Which, you know, Naruto relate no jutsu. But still, Neji pop up on the scene just like, dog, how do you hope to win when you're going up against Neji? How do you hope to win? The boy has damn near, and it's damn near now. Before it was just 360 vision, then you find out it's 359. Cause there's like a spot behind like, what was it? It was like a spot behind the right eye or some shit that he could not see. But still. So yeah, as far as like my top 10, Gurren Lagann, it definitely won Simone Digger. Kamina. No, I'm thinking something else. Man, Kamina had. What I say he had that? Is it heart? Yo, is it heart or is it aura or is it sauce? I'm really having these like. There's heart, there's aura, and there's sauce. Cause it's like there's a difference between the three. I gotta make another episode about that. Like I don't want to make this episode too long. Kamina out of that whole Kamina had that aura about him. Kamina had the aura about him, and then the second half of Gurren Lagann, Simone had that. Yeah, Simone had that. Cause especially with what he had on this shit, it was some goofy shit, but at the same time, it was saucy as well. Just like with like Yugi with the two belts, and he had like he had some weird shit on. He had the big ass little diamond piece, and you know what I mean. Now that was a short king too. Yugi was like maybe 5'2" or something. But when he went to Yu-Gi-Oh mode and he got that little a little Mario power up, and he went to like maybe 5'5", 5'6". But Kamina out of Gurren Lagann, I say had that for them. Is that all people in my top 10? Yeah, that's all people in my top 10. Like I said, I have to go have a debate about the difference between heart, aura, and sauce, because there's a lot of that in a lot of these animes. But that is my time. Thank you for letting me talk your head off, letting me distract you from the world, because there's stupid shit going on still with the tariffs. I don't know what's going on. I have to figure it out. Not only just for myself, but everybody else is trying to figure out, like, how do we order things online now? What are we doing in the long run? How long is it gonna last? Is his reign gonna be as long if he's still fucking stuff up? Who knows? Clothes that you start to buy is about to be affected. Them shipping ports and docking ports and all that, them shits are starting to be empty on our side, full on their side. But we're gonna more so fill it because we don't have as much stuff coming in. Now we've had a lot of stuff that's still moving out, but in like a month, you're gonna have to start getting those non-perishables, and going out is gonna have to be to a minimum, because when you go out to restaurants, because even they're not gonna, restaurants may start tanking, they're not gonna be able to get stuff as easily, so it's going to be more pricey. Because if you think it gets more pricey in the grocery store, it's gonna get more pricey in the restaurants and in fast food places too. I've noticed a slight increase, and it's only gonna get farther. So it's gonna be to the point where fast food isn't gonna be like that. You're just gonna have to beans and rice, spaghetti, rice and chicken if they get the chicken to you. Enjoy omelets while you can. Eat like a fucking king for a moment, because with this guy in office, I don't know. But listen, people would be trying to tell you about certain stuff, and certain people don't want to listen. That's fine. When you see shit like this, there's no going, oh man, we messed up. Like, oh man, I wish I could take it back. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. If was a fifth, all that noise. But yeah, thank you for chilling with me, chilling with your boy. Thank you for lending me your time, lending me your ear, lending me your mind. I hope that I entertained you in some way. I need to be more charismatic or whatever, but you know, my mood may change here and there. Also, thank you for just being you. Okay, 5 things to follow: eat better, hydrate, get to getting, mind your business, don't do the most. And I'm starting to incorporate a little extra one. My girl already made the shirt. She was like, "How are you gonna add a sixth one?" And I put all 5 on the back of there. It's just a temp, like an honorary one, which is, hey, equivalent exchange. Okay, the law of equivalency. It is a real thing. I believe in it. What you put in is what you get out. People have been saying that for the longest time. I've definitely dialed in on it because of Full Metal Alchemist. What you put into the universe is what you get out of it, and that's not 100% all the time, because you see it a lot where like you could put in as much as you want, and sometimes the universe just don't grant it to you. Sometimes there are just other plans for you. Sometimes life just isn't fair in that regard. But majority of the time, I want to say 80-85% of the time, law of equivalency kicks in. What you put into the universe is what you get out. That's why I'm putting in on writing. I'm putting in on shooting YouTube videos. I'm putting in on this art and drawing. I'm putting into the gym to be better like that. I'm putting in on research for like trying to get, better with dealing with depression and my happiness. So yeah, law of equivalency, okay? I am out. Enjoy the rest of your night or morning or evening. Okay, stay safe out there. Get your money up, get your prayers up. Don't get caught lacking. All that good stuff. We out.